You know, it's been a long time since Chargers fans could say this, but it feels like the tide is finally turning. After a marathon 3 days and countless picks flying off the board, I can sit here and tell you with real conviction the Chargers just absolutely crushed the 2025 NFL Draft. Joe Hortiz, for the second year in a row, delivered a masterclass. And today, we're diving deep into every pick, every fit, and why this draft could be the real foundation for the Chargers to finally get over the hump. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Before moving forward, how do you grade this draft for the Chargers? A, or B? I am waiting for your comments. Okay, let's kick it off with round one. Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina. Now look, I get it. A lot of you were banging the table for a wide receiver, for Matthew Golden, thinking the offense needed that outside threat more than anything. And at first glance, sure, that makes sense. But then you take a step back and remember the bigger picture. Jim Harbaugh didn't come to Los Angeles to sling it 50 times a game. He came here to build a bully, to build a team that controls the trenches, dominates the ground game, and wins ugly in January when the weather turns. And to do that, you need a back who can carry the load, keep the offense on schedule, and physically punish defenses. That's Omarion Hampton. This isn't just another guy. Hampton is a legit game-changing running back, built at 6 feet 0 inches, 220 pounds with vision, balance, contact power, and sneaky top-end speed. He produced over 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns in college, Kennard, behind an offensive line that frankly wasn't anything special. Imagine what he's going to do behind Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, and Mekhi Becton. So this pick wasn't just good, it was critical, and I'm giving it a full-blown A+. Next, round two. Tre Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Now this is where we get into fireworks. The need for a wideout was obvious. We lost Keenan Allen, we lost Josh Palmer. We needed somebody who could come in and give Justin Herbert a reliable outside weapon. And Tre Harris checks every single box. This dude is a bully on the perimeter. 6 feet 2 inches, 205 pounds, he wins with physicality, timing, and body control. He's not a true burner. His 4.54 at the combine worried some people. But trust your eyes. Tre Harris plays faster than that, and once you hear he ran that 40 with a groin injury, it all makes sense. His game tape screams mid 4.4 seconds. At Ole Miss, he dominated SEC competition. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and that was in just 8 games before the groin issue shut him down. He's a monster at the catch point. Maybe the best contested catch receiver in the entire draft. He fits exactly what Herbert loves. A big, reliable target who can win outside and make plays even when he's covered. Think Mike Williams 2.0, but maybe with slightly better route running upside once he's coached up. He's not a finished product. He needs refinement with his route tree, but the traits are there, and getting Harris, after already landing Omarion Hampton, shows Hortiz and Harbaugh knew exactly what they were doing. A eye for Tre Harris. Another big step toward rebuilding the offense around Herbert. Round 3. Jamaree Caldwell, defensive tackle, Oregon. This one feels like a Harbaugh special. Big, mean, nasty interior defender, 6 feet 1 inch, 332 pounds. Built like a vending machine. Jamaree Caldwell is going to slot right in as a nose tackle who eats up double teams, frees up linebackers, and makes life miserable for opposing run games. In the AFC West, you have to be able to stop the run. Denver's building a power run game. Vegas just got Ashton Jeanty. KC always has a stable of backs they rotate through. You need big bodies who can hold up in the trenches, and Caldwell brings exactly that. He's not just a space eater either. He flashed some real juice as a pass rusher at Oregon. 22 quarterback pressures last season. At his size, that's rare. He's got room to grow, but the physical tools are there. Solid, no-frills pick that fits a real need. I'm giving it a B+, leaning toward an A- if he continues to develop. Round 4. Kennard, edge rusher, South Carolina. Now this is where the draft starts to feel unfair. How did a guy like Kennard last this long? SEC Defensive Player of the Year. 10 sacks. Speed, power, bend. He checks all the pass rush boxes you want in a mid-round steal. And he's not some undersized speed specialist either. Kennard is 6 feet 5 inches, 254 pounds, with the frame to add more muscle without losing his explosiveness. He's got a nice arsenal of pass rush moves already, which is rare for a college player. And he fits beautifully into a Chargers pass rush rotation that already features Khalil Mack, Tuli Tuipulotu, and Bud Dupree. Kennard can play right away in sub-packages, learn from veterans, and eventually grow into a starting role down the line. Tremendous value. Easy A grade. Round 5, KeAndre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver, Auburn. Speed. Pure, unfiltered speed. KeAndre Lambert-Smith brings an element to this Chargers offense that's been missing for a while. A true field stretcher. He posted an insane 98.7 deep receiving grade, which just screams big play potential. And with a 4.37 40 dash, this guy can absolutely fly. Sure, he's a little raw. He needs more polish in his route running. And he didn't come from a super pass-happy Auburn offense. But the upside here is absolutely massive. He's got solid size at 6 feet 1 inch, 182 pounds. And with the right coaching, he could quickly grow into a legit deep threat in this offense. And here's the best part. Smith's presence will open up the field for Ladd McConkey, Trey Harris, and whoever's working underneath. This was a smart move, adding a unique skill set to the room. I'm giving this one a B+. Huge upside for the 5th round. Again, round 5, Oronde Gadsden II, tight end, Syracuse. Talk about a sneaky home run. The Chargers saw their guy slipping and made an aggressive move, trading up to grab Oronde Gadsden II. And I absolutely love it. Gadsden isn't your old-school block-first tight end. He's a matchup nightmare. Think bigger slot receiver than traditional Y tight end. At Syracuse, he produced like crazy, 900 yards and 7 touchdowns, despite defenses keying on him. He runs routes like a wide receiver. He's reliable at the catch point, and he brings the kind of vertical receiving threat the Chargers haven't had at tight end since Antonio Gates' prime. Now he's going to have time to develop behind Tyler Conklin. But make no mistake, Oronde Gadsden II could be a real difference maker by 2026, especially in the red zone, where his 6 feet 5 inches frame and strong hands make him a major weapon. Strong B+ pick here, the kind of mid-draft swing that can pay off huge. Round 6, Branson Taylor, offensive line, Pitt. Every Harbaugh team needs a pipeline of big, nasty offensive linemen, and Branson Taylor fits the mold. At 6 feet 6 inches, 330 pounds, Taylor brings serious size and sneaky athleticism to the table. He played both right and left tackle in college, but the Chargers are projecting him to guard, where his size and strength could translate really well inside. The big concern here is health. Taylor was building momentum at Pitt before a season-ending injury in Week 7. So this is a bit of a roll of the dice, but in round 6, it's a roll I'll happily take. Giving this one a C+, but with the potential to rise if he can stay healthy and adjust quickly inside. Again, round 6. RJ Mickens, safety, Clemson. Now, this is what you call a steal. RJ Mickens was projected by a lot of people to go somewhere in the 4th round. Somehow he slipped to the Chargers in the late 6th, and they didn't hesitate. Mickens brings versatility. He can play deep in the box or even cover the slot. He's got good instincts, a solid 4.49 40 time, and a knack for being around the football. And most importantly, he brings depth to a position where the Chargers were already stretched thin last year. Jesse Minter's defense puts a ton of stress on safeties to be smart and flexible, and RJ Mickens is exactly the type of player who thrives in that environment. A plus value, A+ fit. This pick gets a strong A from me. Round 7, Trikweze Bridges, cornerback, Florida, Oregon. And finally, with their last pick of the draft, the Chargers went with Trikweze Bridges, a big physical cornerback. 6 feet 3 inches, about 200 pounds, 4.45 speed. These are traits you can't teach. Yes, there's rawness in Bridges' game. He needs refinement with his technique, and it might take a year or two before he's truly ready to contribute. But when you're picking this late, you're betting on upside, and Bridges has the tools to eventually develop into a solid depth boundary corner who can match up with some of the bigger receivers in today's NFL. I'll give it a BI, but if the coaching staff can polish him up, this pick could look a lot better down the line. So if I conclude everything, this draft wasn't just about filling holes. It was about building a new identity. And the Chargers didn't just get faster, they got tougher, meaner, more physical. They built the kind of roster that Jim Harbaugh has always won with. And they did it without sacrificing athleticism or upside. Joe Hortiz continues to show that he knows exactly what he's doing. If you're a Chargers fan, you should be excited. Really excited. So an easy, confident A- for the Chargers 2025 draft from my side. What's your thoughts? Share in the comment section.